Imagine carrying a burning coal in your hand to nourish someone else's warmth. Your skin is scorching, and with every step, the pain becomes more unbearable. For many, this is the reality. Kindness has become a burden, a source of pain rather than joy. In a world that often demands self-sacrifice for others, Stoicism emerges as a beacon of balance. It teaches us that self-destruction is not necessary. Instead, it grows from a place of personal strength and well-being. Not until we learn to give from abundance, not from emptiness, do we truly discover the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. Join me in exploring how we can preserve the fire within us and share its warmth with the world. This is the Stoic path, where every act of kindness is a choice, not an obligation, and self-care is the foundation of true generosity. Imagine holding that same burning coal safely with protective tools. You can offer its warmth and share its light without harming yourself. This is what Stoicism offers, a way to keep your inner fire burning strong while illuminating the world with your kindness. If you're ready to transform your kindness from a source of exhaustion to a source of strength, let us begin this journey of discovery guided by the wisdom of the Stoics. 1. Saying yes when you want to say no. Imagine standing by the edge of a calm lake, its waters reflecting the sky like a mirror. In your hands, you hold stones with the word yes written on them, each representing a commitment, a promise, or a duty you've agreed to. With every stone you throw into the lake, the ripples widen, disturbing the calm and reflecting how saying yes when you want to say no affects your inner peace. This small word with the weight of mountains can shape your destiny. When you say yes out of obligation, it's like adding another stone to your life's burden. You feel the weight dragging you down, pulling you under. Accepting something you don't want to do creates a heaviness in your chest, a weariness in your bones. It's the fatigue of agreeing to everything, bowing to every demand, sacrificing yourself for every expectation. Imagine that person at work who runs to help with everything, who says yes to every request, who sacrifices themselves for every expectation. Everyone turns to that person to exploit their willingness, who gives endlessly, but never gets enough in return. Even when they're tired, sick, or hurt, they rush to help. They feel drained and weary, a testament to the cost of kindness shown in vain, reminding us that even the purest intentions need to be guided by wisdom. This is where the Stoic principle of boundaries comes into play. Imagine a gentle fence around a flowing water reserve, protecting what's inside without shutting out the world. Learning to say no kindly but firmly is building this fence. It might feel foreign, even a bit selfish at first, but it's the key to sustainable support for others. Stoicism teaches us that you can't pour from an empty cup. By preserving your resources, you also preserve your ability to give meaningfully. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to your own well-being and, ultimately, to a greater capacity for genuine acts of generosity in the future. So, be bold, start small, embrace the discomfort of saying no. This is the Stoic way of saying no to your own desires before others. This practice is about becoming comfortable in discomfort, strengthening your will against the easy path of compliance. It means rejecting any demand that doesn't align with your values or goals. It's about choosing discomfort over resentment, growth over stagnation. Voluntary discomfort is not about rejecting enrichment, but about embracing the short-term unease of saying no for long-term well-being. This journey of careful choices is one where every no is a step towards a more authentic and fulfilling life. That small no might make you feel as if a weight has been lifted from your shoulders. And in doing so, you not only save yourself from burnout, but also ensure that your future gifts of kindness are offered with the light and warmth they deserve. Consider how we are each a thread woven into the fabric of existence, and every interaction has the potential to strengthen or fray this fabric. Not setting boundaries is like leaving the thread loose and untied, allowing anyone to pull at it until it reaches the breaking point. This silent thief steals your time, energy, and ultimately your essence, leaving you feeling empty. Merely a tool for others' desires, your own dreams and aspirations drowned out by the cacophony of endless demands. The absence of boundaries becomes a constant hum in the back of your mind, making you aware that every task you undertake feels foreign and dissonant. The joy of helping others gets lost in the relentless tide of overcommitment, leaving you adrift in a sea of obligations, The Stoics understood that our most precious resource is not material wealth but time. It is finite, irreplaceable. How we choose to spend it directly impacts our well-being. Saying yes to everyone is, in a way, saying no to your own ease, growth, and passions. As Seneca states in his Moral Letters, people are so mindless that if they happen to take anything small and worthless, which can be easily replaced from someone, they will consider themselves in debt. But if they take a person's time, which, even if it is repaid with gratitude, can never be replaced, they don't consider themselves in debt at all. Stoicism is a forward-looking path. Imagine a sieve over the desert, sifting out the valuable grains. Let every request pass through this sieve and ask yourself, is this demand truly in alignment with who I am and what I value? Does it leave room for my own needs? This is not about selfishness, but sustainability. The Stoics advocated for human nature's balance, understanding that self-care and caring for others are two sides of the same coin. To embody this Stoic principle, adopt a practical approach. Think about any situation where you're asked to volunteer for another task, whether among family, friends, or at work. Instead of giving an automatic yes, pause, reflect, and review your current commitments. Decide to propose a compromise or offer an alternative that doesn't compromise your well-being. This balanced act of kindness is not about rejecting others, but about embracing your own value. This is a step towards a life where generosity is a gift not just to others, but also to yourself. This is the Stoic way, a path that leads to a life of balance and deep fulfillment. Saying no, or altering a request to fit within your boundaries may feel strange at first, but this is kindness to yourself and therefore to others. A vibrant, wholehearted you is a far greater gift to the world than a burnt-out, resentful shell. Protect your fire, guard your spark, use your time and energy wisely, and witness the blooming of your true capacity for generosity. 2. Neglecting personal care. Imagine two gardeners, one meticulously tending to their own garden while the other rushes to help others, neglecting their own. The diligent gardener, practicing balanced self-care, produces a thriving, beautiful garden, full of personal joy and even abundant enough to share with others. The ever-giving gardener, on the other hand, ends up with a withered, barren plot. They've become so focused on helping others that they've forgotten themselves, and their garden suffers as a result. Every selfless act of giving is like a leaf extending from your shoulders, offering a piece of your essence to the world. But for those leaves to flourish, the roots must be nourished. Self-care is not selfish. It is akin to the rain falling on your roots or the sunlight warming your crown. Stoicism teaches us that if you constantly prioritize others' needs over your own, a subtle exhaustion begins. The branches of your life tree become bare, your shadow less expansive. The joy of giving is replaced by a sense of obligation mixed with unspoken resentment. The rustling of leaves about to fall is a warning whisper inside you. I can no longer offer more. Imagine pouring tea from a fancy teapot. Each serving is a gift, warming someone's hands, perhaps even their soul. But what happens when the teapot is empty? When there's nothing left inside? You can't give what you don't have. You become an empty teapot, no longer a source of comfort, but a symbol of your own depletion. The Stoics, always advocates of balance and wisdom, emphasized the principle of self-improvement. They understood that neglecting personal well-being weakens our ability to serve others. Embracing this principle means recognizing that self-care is the deepest form of self-respect. It's about accepting that only when you take good care of yourself can you offer the best care to others. Stoicism teaches us a vital lesson. Self-care is the act of refilling the teapot. Whether it's restful solitude, nourishing meals, creative pursuits, or simply taking deep breaths in silence, you return to yourself. This is not indulgence, but a powerful act of sustainability. A renewed inner well allows you to give from the heart without compromising your light. So, nourish your roots, honor your needs, and discover that true generosity springs from abundance, not scarcity. 3. Taking on others' responsibilities. In the garden of life, each of us is both a gardener and a flower. We care for others, nurturing them with our time and attention. But in doing so, we must be careful not to overshadow their own ability to grow. Taking on others' responsibilities is like watering someone else's plant while neglecting your own. Under your care, it might flourish temporarily, but at the cost of your own vitality. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between helping others and enabling them. Imagine carrying a heavy load of stones, each one representing someone else's burdens. At first you feel strong, capable, even heroic. But as you continue to pick up more and more stones, the weight becomes unbearable. Your back aches, your knees buckle, and eventually you collapse under the strain. The stones have broken you. The Stoics warned against this kind of self-sacrifice, not out of selfishness, but out of a deep understanding of human nature. By taking on too much, you deprive others of the opportunity to grow stronger, to carry their own weight. You rob them of the lessons learned through struggle, the resilience built through adversity. Instead of helping, you become a crutch, enabling them to remain dependent, weak, and unfulfilled. Imagine a mother bird feeding her chick. At first, she provides nourishment, carefully delivering food to her offspring. But as the chick grows, she must teach it to fly, to find its own sustenance, to become self-reliant. If she continues to feed the chick long after it's capable of fending for itself, she hinders its development. The chick remains dependent, unable to survive on its own. Stoicism encourages us to be like the mother bird, nurturing others but also empowering them to grow, to take responsibility for their own lives. It's a delicate balance, one that requires wisdom and discernment. You must ask yourself, am I truly helping or am I enabling? Am I providing support or am I taking away the opportunity for growth? In the workplace, this might mean saying no to a colleague who constantly relies on you to complete their tasks. At home, it might mean encouraging a family member to take on more responsibility, to learn and grow through their own efforts. In friendships, it might mean setting boundaries, recognizing that you can't always be the one to solve everyone's problems. By doing this, you empower others to stand on their own, to build their strength and resilience. And in doing so, you also protect yourself, preserving your own energy, focus, and well-being. The Stoics understood that true kindness is not about taking on others' burdens, but about helping them find the strength to carry their own. It's about recognizing that everyone has their own path, their own challenges, and their own lessons to learn. By stepping back, by allowing others to take responsibility for their own lives, you give them the greatest gift of all, the opportunity to grow, to become the best version of themselves. So the next time you're tempted to take on someone else's responsibilities, remember the Stoic principle of self-reliance. Ask yourself, am I truly helping or am I hindering their growth? Am I being kind or am I enabling? In the garden of life, let us nurture each other, but also give each other the space to grow, to blossom into our full potential. This is the Stoic way, a path of wisdom, balance, and true kindness. 4. Conclusion. In the pursuit of kindness, it's easy to lose sight of the delicate balance between giving and self-care. Stoicism offers a profound reminder that true generosity comes not from self-sacrifice, but from a place of inner strength and well-being. By setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and empowering others to take responsibility for their own lives, you can cultivate a life of balanced generosity. This is not just a path to personal fulfillment, but a way to make a meaningful impact on the world. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself, and you will find that your kindness, like a well-tended garden, will flourish and grow, offering beauty and nourishment to all who encounter it. This is the Stoic way, a path of wisdom, balance, and true kindness. With every challenge they encounter, their wings grow stronger. They could always choose the smoothest path, but the lessons learned through their own efforts will pave the way for a more resilient and satisfying future. 5. Feeling sorry for toxic people. On the journey of life, we often cross paths with individuals whose presence drains the color from our world. Holding on to toxic people is like grasping a thorn, an act of noble but misguided compassion that can cloud judgment. Here, our well-being is sacrificed in the hope of changing another. This is a heavy cloak of empathy that eventually becomes too burdensome to carry. The telltale sign of enduring toxicity for the sake of compassion is a constant unease, a shadow over even the brightest moments. It's the tension in your shoulders when interacting with them, the relief you feel when they leave, followed by the guilt that accompanies that relief. It's the feeling of pouring your emotional reserves into a void, hoping to fill it, only to find it bottomless. The cost is high: your peace, your joy, and your ability to thrive in a nurturing environment. Stoicism reminds us that while compassion is a virtue, it must be balanced with wisdom. You cannot light a fire for someone who refuses to gather the kindling. True change is personal, and your emotional well-being should not be sacrificed for someone else's potential transformation. Imagine you're proud of being a good person, always listening to a friend who is constantly embroiled in drama and negativity. Despite all your efforts, your friend's behavior doesn't change, and you find yourself emotionally drained trying to calm the chaos in your own life. This kind of scenario is a strong reminder that offering support does not mean walking a path you cannot tread. Tolerating destructive behaviors under the guise of compassion begins to erode your inner peace. This is a battle you cannot win. Negativity, manipulation, and refusal to take responsibility pollute the air you breathe. Naturally generous souls risk shrinking, turning compassion into self-defense. Stoics, with their deep understanding of human nature, emphasized the principle of amor fati, the love of one's fate. They embraced life's experiences while discerning what they could change. For you, this means accepting that you cannot control your acquaintances' actions, only your response to them. This is about releasing the need to correct others and instead focusing on cultivating your own inner garden. Applying the Stoic principle to our lives involves setting clear boundaries with those who drain your spirit. It's about guarding your heart with kindness and determination, understanding that you can wish them well on their turbulent journey without being a passenger on it. This is the essence of amor fati, finding the courage to let go with love, trusting that everyone must face their own battles. And in doing so, we free ourselves, allowing our values and well-being to flourish. Remember, unconditional love does not mean enduring emotional abuse or allowing someone to constantly undermine your well-being. Stoicism encourages us to practice discernment, accepting a person's struggles without drawing their storm clouds into your own sky. Setting firm boundaries, and sometimes even stepping away, is the bravest act of self-preservation. It opens up space for healing, allowing you to channel your precious energy into healthier relationships or nurturing your own growth. True compassion extends to yourself, and sometimes the greatest kindness is prioritizing your inner peace. 6. Maintaining relationships that harm you. Loyalty is a virtue that can be as strong as steel, noble and unyielding. But when loyalty binds us to unhealthy relationships, it transforms from a shield into a chain. Staying in a relationship where mistreatment is continuous is like drinking poison and hoping to be nourished. This is a silent martyrdom that leaves invisible scars, deeply felt in the heart. Misplaced loyalty can make a person feel like a ghost in their own life, wandering the corridors of what once was or what could have been instead of living fully in the present. This heavy cloak of enduring toxicity out of obligation gradually dims your inner light and causes your true self to retreat. In the name of misguided loyalty, you continuously sacrifice your happiness and suppress your needs, stripping you of the freedom to live a life filled with respect, love, and self-expression. Despite the pain caused by old bonds, imagine believing in the honor of staying in a broken relationship. Every interaction with this person leaves you feeling drained, criticized, and unappreciated, yet you stay, thinking that loyalty demands it. This is a story that many can relate to, a reminder that the ties that bind can also tighten. Loyalty is an admirable trait, but Stoicism reminds us that it must be wisely directed. When loyalty becomes synonymous with enduring emotional pain or mistreatment, it turns into a weapon that pierces your own soul. You tell yourself it's for the best, that family, love, or friendship requires it. But deep down, you know this isn't sustainable. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom lies not in external circumstances but in our internal choices. Choosing to remain tied to toxicity gradually erodes this inner freedom, denying your right to flourish in uplifting environments. Yet Stoics offer a different perspective, one rooted in the principle of preferred indifference. While some things are preferred, they should not disturb the peace of your inner citadel. For you, this means accepting that, while these relationships may hold value, they should not come at the expense of your personal well-being. This is about understanding that true loyalty begins with loyalty to oneself. Applying this Stoic principle involves setting boundaries that honor your self-respect. This may mean having an honest conversation, stepping back, or in some cases walking away. It's not an act of betrayal, but an act of self-preservation. For you, and for anyone facing a similar situation, this is about choosing paths that lead to growth and peace, rather than shrinking in chaos. This is the Stoic way, a pursuit of wisdom, courage, and a life well lived, free from the chains of misplaced obligations. This is not about abandoning loved ones. Stoicism advocates for healthy boundaries, even in the most complex relationships. This may mean limiting contact, having difficult conversations, or in extreme cases, distancing yourself. This is about prioritizing your mental health, not as an act of defiance, but as an act of profound self-respect. True loyalty is the kind that promotes growth and requires mutual respect from both sides. 7. Neglecting your dreams to support others. In the grand theater of life, each of us has a script filled with dreams and aspirations unique to our character. But when we neglect our dreams to support others, it's as if we're handing over our script, letting someone else write our lines and direct our scenes. This form of self-neglect emerges as a subtle betrayal, a whisper of what if that grows louder over time. It's the realization that the roles you play for others no longer fit, and the weariness that comes with it. This sign means living a life in the background of someone else's story, leaving you with a costume that never quite fits and a role that never truly resonates. This is the feeling of being on hold, like a bird with clipped wings longing to soar, the silent envy that pricks your heart, reminding you of the dreams you've postponed, the slow erosion of your potential, the extinguishing of the spark that once drove you to pursue what you truly wanted. Imagine you loved painting and dreamed of a future in it. But believing your dreams can wait, you marry someone your family chose, do what they want, or go to school. Days turn into years, and the canvases remain empty. The paintings you envisioned but never created slip away from your grasp, leaving you questioning your own worth. Regret casts a long shadow, a sharp reminder of the road not taken. Stoics, with their deep understanding of personal agency, taught the principle of prohairesis, the idea that our will is the only true possession over which we have complete control. Supporting others is a virtuous act, but they believed it should never come at the cost of our will. For you, embracing prohairesis means making a conscious choice to honor your dreams alongside your commitments to others. Applying this Stoic wisdom could involve setting aside dedicated time each week for your personal projects, regardless of others' demands. This is about defending your right to pursue your dreams, to write your own script. For you and anyone who recognizes this sign, this is about finding the courage to step into the spotlight of your own life and live authentically and purposefully. This is the Stoic way, a journey of balance, where supporting others and pursuing our dreams are not mutually exclusive, but intertwined in harmony. Remember, your dreams are not selfish. They are a vital part of the legacy you leave behind. A vibrant, fulfilled you becomes an even greater source of inspiration and support for those around you. As we journey through life, we weave threads of interaction, kindness, and support into its tapestry. Yet, in the intricate design of our days, it's crucial to remember that the strength of the weave depends on the integrity of each thread. To give to others, we must first be whole. Sustained self-care allows us to offer our best, not just to survive, but to thrive, and in turn those around us thrive as well. As we close this chapter, let us carry the wisdom of balance with us, the wisdom that in the art of necessity, we must also be the artists of our own well-being. If this message resonates with you, if it stirs something deep within your heart, I invite you to join us by subscribing. Your support is the very enthusiasm that fuels our journey together, and for that I offer my heartfelt thanks. Let us continue to inspire, to grow, and to find the beautiful balance that life asks of us. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for being a part of this journey. Until next time, Take care of yourself. Embrace the power of choice and the peace that comes with it.